What's up guys, Dark Ruler here, aka Blackheart909, and today I'm talking about my two PlayStation Vitas and the revival of the PlayStation Vita as a whole in general. So, this is a story. I turned 29 years old today, and about exactly 10 years ago, on my birthday, my dad bought me this PlayStation Vita. And this is the PlayStation Vita 2000, which at the time when it came out was already a pretty underpowered device that not many people were interested in. Anyway, I had that PlayStation Vita. I think Tearaway was a game that it launched with, and that was one of the first games that came out on the PlayStation Vita, at least for the bundle that I got. It came out with Tearaway, and I'm sorry if I'm doing a terrible job of explaining the revival of this great console. But for a long time, that was the only game I had on my PlayStation Vita, until eventually a friend of mine gave me his PlayStation account and let me play Persona 4 Golden on it. So I played Persona 4 Golden on this PlayStation Vita. After that, I didn't really touch my PlayStation Vita for a really long time. And recently, I was watching some videos on YouTube that told me about how much you can modify PlayStation Vitas now and all of the crazy stuff you can do with it. And that sent me on a spiral looking for my PlayStation Vita. Thankfully, after I searched under my bed, emptied my closets, and yeah, pretty much looked on every single nook and cranny that I could find, I found it. It was actually under one of my tables. After finding it, I decided, hey, let's play some games and let's actually get this PlayStation Vita jailbroken. And I did, and once I did, it unlocked a whole world of possibilities for my PlayStation Vita. I could now play PSP games, I could play PS1 games using Adrenaline. I was also able to overclock my PlayStation Vita doing this. Now here, I'll show you what this game runs like by default on PlayStation Vita. So we're running somewhere around here by default. I think, yeah, this is how it runs by default. And yeah, you're getting like 27 FPS. If you move around, you get drops to like 29, which is kind of bad, to be honest. It's like, this was the premier PS Vita game, the showstopper. But anyway, you can also overclock your PS Vita, which is great. So 500 on this. I just run it all the way up. And it's pretty stable, and it gives me pretty decent battery life too. So it's not something I'm worried about doing too much. Apparently the chips on the PlayStation Vita are meant for 4 gigahertz, but they only run at 0.3 to 0.5 megahertz. So even overclocking it is pretty much still underclocked. Anyway, this is just a short section from Uncharted, just showing you guys the difference between the two models. This one's an OLED, the one on my right, and this one's an LCD screen. And yeah, so pretty much I ended up hacking the PlayStation Vita, putting some games onto it, games that I already owned, of course. And then I started getting this itch in my belly after hearing how good the OLED screen looks in comparison to the regular screen. And honestly, I think they look pretty damn similar to each other. I don't think one looks drastically better than the other or something like this. I think the LCD does a pretty good job at still looking good and reasonable, while the OLED does have slightly better blacks. But also there's this phenomenon that I hadn't heard about before called the Mura effect, which I ran into on the OLED. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. But anyway, what does hacking your Switch allow you to do? Well, first of all, you have Adrenaline here, which lets you play all kinds of PSP games. You have also PlayStation 1 games almost natively, custom themes. You have this store that some of you will know what it does. And Vita DB downloader. You also have auto plugin for different plugins. One of these plugins is letting me pretty much overclock my Vita as much as I want. So I'll just try to demonstrate the Mura effect now. Yeah, on this LCD Steam Deck, I'm running a color optimizer, which allows me to pretty much run with slightly better colors than default, and it does a really good job of getting very close to that OLED effect, which is really nice. Like, normally OLEDs give me a huge night and day difference, which I can see easily, but here with this OLED in particular, it's actually not that obvious. Anyway, let's try to get the same game going on both of them, and we could demonstrate the Mura effect a little bit. Okay, so right here we're supposed to have a pure black screen, and we do. This is all pure black. This is supposed to be pure black too, but it's not. As you can see the backlighting, and it's more obvious with my camera than it is in real life. But anyway, let's skip this and press the start button. It is a lot harder to press the start button on the PS Vita 1000. The screen's definitely a little bit better in terms of colors. So new game, tanker plant, normal. Let's do radar type 1 for both of them. And I'll go from left to right. So can I hit both at the same time? I think so. There we go. So this is the Mura effect. If you notice this greenness behind and also this blotching, that's the Mura effect. You don't see that here, it's way more consistent. But basically, if you have a pure black screen, you're gonna notice this ink kind of pattern, which basically shows you the smears of the OLED display. Now I got a little lucky. This is quite uniform in terms of my OLED, and you only see it on pure black scenes or scenes like this. And this game in particular, MGS2, really helps you see it easily, but it's not really evident. Like, if you notice when I was playing Uncharted Golden Abyss, I wasn't able to see too much of it, and that's not something I heard of before I was picking one of these up. So I picked this one up for about $99, and I think that's a pretty good price for right now. PS Vitas are going back up in price because of all the new homebrew that's coming. Guys, I'm sorry for this video being super random, but there's also a new homebrew contest coming out on the PlayStation Vita, which you guys should definitely check out. You can also donate to fund it. So let me just see. Homebrew contest. This is the older one. Let's see. What's it called? And also, being able to overclock this makes things so much better, because now I get a consistent 30 FPS. Okay, there we go. It's called Raihen. So this is the homebrew contest, which is going on right now. Submissions end in 28 days, and they have like a working version of this is Super Hot, Crashlands, Zelda. Be careful for Nintendo. And they also have prizes for people who are making these homebrews. There's also a Portal port, Portal 2 I think, or something like a small Portal-esque gameplay for Homebrew on the PS Vita. Anyway guys, this was just a short story and a quick little comparison between two PlayStation Vitas. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll stay tuned to see more. Dark Ruler, aka Blackheart909. Like and subscribe, signing off.